In today's video, we're looking at the trail arm in the downswing, and we're going to give you a really simple drill and reference point which can really help you strike those irons pure every time. So welcome back to the second video in a very mini series talking about the elbows and the golf swing. If you haven't already seen that first video that was posted a few days ago, I'll link it here in the corner. Go and watch that one first. That was focusing on the lead elbow. In this video, we're going to be focused on the trail elbow. But just before we get into that, if you're new to my channel, I would love you to be a subscriber and part of the community. It is absolutely free, and there is a subscription link in the description box down below. It's not easy to say. And also just give the little bell icon a click as well. That just means you'll be notified when I do upload a video. So the lesson plan today is really to think about the trail arm and the difference between starting position and delivery position. How we can reference that, how we can work on that, and how we can start to practice and build that into our golf swing. If you've watched that first video, you will know that we're going to be using this little device here, which is just a sweatband with a driving range plastic rubber tee in it. We're going to place that on the arm and show you exactly how to use it. So on this particular exercise, we've got the tee. Give me a reference for the inside of my elbow and where the inside of my elbow points. And very similar to what we said in video one, as I start to rotate my arm and move my elbow position, this is going to give me a reference point for that. So let's quickly go through the difference between starting position and impact, or I should say delivery, and what that is going to do for me. So if I take a normal start to this golf ball, notice how the inside of my elbow is pointing considerably in front of that ball. And that's absolutely fine. That wants to be a fairly relaxed starting position. Now, if I was to quickly from here move into my delivery position, notice what that tee does. Notice how it's now pointing probably marginally behind the golf ball. Certainly not in front of the golf ball as it was at setup. And when we start to look at what that movement is from down the line, we see how my arm folds and rotates, which creates that sort of reference point. For any of you out there who are really struggling with your irons with strike, consistency, distance, even direction, if we were to look at your golf swing as you sort of get towards this sort of delivery position, you might find that this reference point is already in front of the tee, as it kind of was at starting position. So for many golfers who struggle, their delivery and their setup are too similar in how their right arm is moving. Now, the initial little exercise to work on this would be take the golf club away, because the golf club initially can just make things far too difficult. So I'm going to take my address, tee peg in front of the ball, and I'm just going to take one arm, right arm, and just move up to the top here as I would. But what I really want to try and do is feel like I hook my lead arm behind my elbow and start to maintain the rotation in my arm as I deliver my arm back towards this position. You can just see where that tee points, very, very much behind the golf ball, which is exactly what I'm after in this rehearsal. Notice from the down the line view, the arm is very bent. This is absolutely fine. And I really want to try and feel that the palm is facing down towards the ground at this stage. Now, for many of you, that will be very, very difficult. You'll really feel that in the sort of back of your shoulder. Unfortunately, for many of you, you won't have quite as much range of motion as that. We want you to try and work towards as much range of motion as you've got. That might be referencing the golf ball just in front, but we're really trying to avoid a position which is very similar to setup. That's what we're really trying to avoid. So we go reference there, up, work it down, palm is at the ground, tee is behind the ball, arm is bent. Then from here, we can start to really feel like we deliver the golf club down towards the ground. That's really going to help us with strike, compression, all of those things that we know are going to give us those better strikes. What we then do is introduce the golf club and do the same thing. Up, work it down. There's my reference. That's what we tend to see from the best golfers in the world. The elbow is in front of the hip, it's flexed, and the inside of the elbow is pointing somewhere towards the golf ball, if not behind the golf ball. Not always what we tend to see in the high handicap golfers. So the initial little drill will be to do that and strike the golf ball. So this is going to go very, very short distance, but there's my little reference. And then all I do is I take that right elbow and I just turn it through the golf ball. Now, it's gone very low. It's gone 60, 70 yards through the air. That's all I'm looking to do at this stage. But I was able to take a divot after the ball, which is really key. I was able to produce a fairly low loft on the golf club, hence the low ball flight. I was able to create some compression on the golf ball through my handle being forwards. and I was able to stabilize the club face. And those are really the key things that are going to help you strike those irons better, more solid, more pure, better quality of strike, better consistency, and ultimately give you some better results out on the golf course. There are many differences between amateurs and professionals, recreational golfers, those kind of things. How the trail arm works is absolutely key to your development as a golfer. All the best golfers in the world have a trail arm which works well for their golf swing. Most of the golfers I see who really struggle, the trail arm is doing things that we don't want it to do. This little device here is a great way for you to start to work on that, start to create some more awareness, which is really important, and start to trend towards the things that we'd like you to do to help you strike the ball better. So, thank you for watching. Hope that 2-video series was helpful. Something on your backswing, something on your downswing. Implement those into your game, and I'm sure you're going to start hitting those irons better than you've ever hit them before. Usual stuff is down below. Drop me a comment on this video, give it a thumbs up if you did like it, and also share this video if you think you know someone who could benefit from the information within it. I'm sure they'll appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you back here again soon for some more videos. Thanks for watching.